Hi, my second grade friends. It's Miss Millerick. I hope that you're all doing well. I know you're working very hard and I'm very proud of you, so keep it up. If you look at the easel behind me, it says materials and properties, and that is new, right? We're starting a new unit, a new science concept today. You might have heard these words before. I know in kindergarten we did a whole lot with states of matter, solid, liquid, and gas. And I know that some of your second grade teachers may have even started talking about materials and their properties before we left school. So what we're going to do is quick little review of these two vocabulary terms and what they mean. All right. And then I'm going to tell you why we're even talking about materials and their properties. All right. All the matter in the world, right, is made out of different materials. Okay. So, for example, this easel is made out of a certain material, right? Some of it's plastic, some of it's metal. And I have that word plastic right here. Plastic is a material. So I'm going to put it next to the word material. And then another type of material is metal, right? I have this clip right here, this binder clip, and the binder clip is made out of metal. It's very heavy duty, so metal. Another type of material is wood. I don't know if you could see, but there's a table right in front of me, and the table is made out of wood. Glass is another material that you guys are very familiar with. Cardboard. Okay. I actually have a paper towel roll right here. This is made out of cardboard. That's its material. And then one more I have is rubber. Rubber is a type of material. Tires are made out of rubber. Elastic bands are made out of rubber. Another common one right here, rubber. Okay. So we have plastic, metal, wood, cardboard, glass, rubber. And you guys can probably already think in your head of other types of materials, but these are just like very common ones. Now we're going to go over some common properties. So properties means a whole lot of different things in the world, right? You can own a property. That can be Miss Millerick's property, right? Or property can describe different materials. And what are their properties? Why do we use those objects or those materials for certain things? All right, so some describing words, some properties of these everyday common materials might be the simple word hard, right? Like this easel is hard, it's solid. Another way you can describe a material's property is with the word flexible, right? You might know that ballerinas or gymnasts or people who stretch, they're flexible, but flexible is also a way that you can describe materials, right? Like this elastic is flexible. You can change it however you want. You could stretch it, you could keep it soft, you can twist it, flexible. Another property could be rigid. What do you think rigid means? Rigid. Then we have the word soft, like a pillow. Might be soft. Fabric is soft. And then lastly, I have the word strong, right? And this table that's made out of wood, this is strong. This easel is strong. So again, you could probably think of way more properties, way more ways to describe different materials, but these are just some common words that we're going to use. So second grade friends, what I want you to do is stay in that little scientific state of mind, but also kind of shift gears into your engineering brain. And the reason why we're doing that is because the whole point of learning about materials and their properties, the whole point of this new unit is that we are going to learn all about what materials people used for intended purposes, right? What do you build a house out of? What do you build a refrigerator out of? So what materials are best suited for certain purposes? That's what we're going to be investigating. Okay, second graders, so this worksheet is the same exact worksheet that you are going to have for your follow-up activity, but we're going to use it a little bit differently right now all together. So there's a table here. You will see that there's 5 different pictures, and above those pictures, they are labeled by what material they are. And these are common everyday materials. So the first one is a couple pieces of wood, and it says wood above it. The next one is some pieces of fabric that you might see folded up in a fabric store. It says fabric. The next picture are 2 glass cups, and then it says the word glass above it. Then we have some Lego pieces, and Legos are made out of plastic. That's its material. And then lastly, there are some metal rods, and the word metal is above it. Okay, so what we are going to do in these empty spaces is we're going to work together and we're going to write some properties of each of these materials, right? What are some ways that you would describe these materials? So let's start off with wood. Think about some of the words we just went over on Post-it notes. Well, I have a really easy one. Hard. Right? What is hard? What else besides hard? What do you think? What about rigid? Very heavy duty and sturdy. Any other thoughts for wood? And I hope that you guys are making predictions and you're shouting things out. Even though I can't hear you, I still want you to, try to participate in the best way that you can. What about strong? Wood is strong. Wood is usually flat. I would describe it saying that it's flat. It can be smooth. And we're going to end there. We'll move on. We'll do the next one. So fabric. How would you describe fabric? Opposite of hard, fabric is soft, right? Your clothes are made out of fabric, so think about your clothes. What about flexible? And smooth. Clothes are not rough. Anything else for fabric? All right, what about glass? Glass cups. Well, glass is not soft. We could say that the opposite would be going back to hard. Glass is not flexible. So we'll say that, not flexible. Glass can be smooth, but it could also be rough. So we'll write both. It could be smooth and rough. Moving on to plastic. How would you guys describe plastic? Plastic is hard. It's not soft. It's also not really flexible. I mean, it depends on the type of plastic, right? Like this plastic sheet that I'm using to write on. This is flexible, but Lego pieces are not. So we'll just go ahead and describe the Lego pieces, not flexible. Plastic can be smooth and rough too. So we'll write smooth and rough. Any other way you guys would describe plastic? All right, moving on to metal. Metal is hard. Metal is not flexible, right? Look at those metal rods. Could you bend those or form them into a circle? No, not flexible. Metal's usually smooth unless it's rusted. Usually smooth. It's rigid, it's strong. And that's good. We did a really good job describing the properties of those materials. When you see this worksheet later on today, you're not going to be doing the same exact thing that we just did here. You don't have to describe the properties of these materials because we already just did that. What I want you guys to do is go around your house and look for different things in your house that are made out of these materials and list them in the empty spaces. So lastly, we're just going to go over some of the follow-up activities that are going to come along with learning about materials and their properties and how to use these materials for the best intended purpose. So I already told you that you would be using this worksheet, but in a different way. So the directions say find at least 5 objects in or outside of your home that are made from the materials below. So I want you to go on a little scavenger hunt and write the words or draw pictures of things that you have inside or outside of your home that are made out of wood, fabric, glass, plastic, metal. Then what I want you to start thinking about is stem bins, right? We have a little game here. It says, which stem bin would you use to build a bridge? And these are the pictures that Miss Millerick had in her classroom. So I'm bringing them to life for you guys. I know you miss them. And we would be using the stem bins a lot right now if we were in Miss Millerick's classroom. So I just want you to imagine that you had them and play this game. Which stem bin would you use to build a bridge? And then pick, would you use the linking cubes or would you use the popsicle sticks and Velcro? And then I really want you to talk about why, okay? Why would you use the linking cubes or why would you use the popsicle sticks and Velcro? Think about their properties. Which one is stronger? Which one can make the shape of a bridge better? Things like that. Which stem bin would you use to build a slide? Same thing, which one and why? Think about its properties and so on. There's a few more. Which stem bin would you use to build a tower? And which stem bin would you use to build a maze? Another fun thing you can do would be to create your own stem bin. And it doesn't have to be fancy toys like Legos and things like that, right? You could just find things in your own recycling bin at your home, because you need your own stem bin as an engineer, right? So I'll just tell you a little bit about mine. I have this small box here, recyclable box. I have an old yogurt container that I washed out, a couple of elastics to attach things together. I have a toilet paper roll, a small box, and I have tissue paper, which can be ripped up and used in many different ways. So this is my stem bin. If you guys make your own, I would love to hear about it and the properties of the materials that you put inside. All right, have fun. Bye, second graders.